Good evening. A brush fire burning in the West Valley since Saturday has now grown to almost 1,000 acres, and it's still 0% contained.
Thanks, everyone, for joining us for 12 News at 10. I'm Kariba Devine.
I'm Mark Curtis. Firefighters used bulldozers over the weekend to try to stop the spread of the fire, but changes in the wind caused the fire and smoke to pick back up.
The flames can be seen just southwest of Buckeye near State Route 85, burning through some dense and very dry vegetation called salt cedar in the river bottom.
12 News journalist William Pitts has been monitoring conditions out there all night. He joins us live once again from the fire lines with the latest. Hey, Will.
Hey, yeah, much better day today. Take a look behind me here. It's not going to look like it's better, but believe me, it is, because this is actually not the main fire. The main fire, you can't even see. This is a burnout operation. I just talked to fire officials just a few minutes ago. They said, yeah, this is the burn operation that we're doing to try and close the distance between the main body of the fire and their containment lines. That fire is not moving that fast right now, and they're hoping to get ahead of it as this fire goes into day 4 tomorrow.
It was in the nighttime, and it was a blaze of fire, and that really got my attention. I was like, oh, Lord, I want to get home, and see how serious this is.
Robert Claiborne didn't want to see this, the Gila riverbed on fire.
Well, I'm concerned enough to come all the way down here after work to see exactly how much fire is burning.
The Hazen Fire is burning a lot of salt cedar. Those trees burn hot and heavy and kick up a lot of black smoke.
I got to breathe. Everybody got to breathe. Yeah, I want this smoke cleared out,
For the last 2 days, the smoke has been blanketing the West Valley.
Yesterday around 3, we started realizing damn, this is a lot.
Nick Vincent has been breathing and smelling it.
I know my fiance's been struggling with the air. She has really bad asthma, so even just the dust alone is pretty bad.
But ADEQ says the smoke is not near as bad as it was over the weekend, and it's not at dangerous levels. But if you're sensitive, you should be fine in your house with your air on circulate.
Anytime you're dealing with, whether it be a wildfire, prescribed fire, windblown dust, anytime you're breathing in those particulates, it's not a great thing. If you're smelling the smoke, you're breathing it in.
Fire crews spent the afternoon working on a second containment line, preparing for warmer temperatures on Tuesday.
The whole west side, the northwest side, that's all holding really good. Again, this is just like a plan B, a backup line, just in case that fire slops over the containment line again.
Now, holding does not mean contained, not yet anyway. They need an actual line constructed all the way around the fire that holds in order to get containment, and they are just not there yet. The good news is, though, that this fire is still miles from the nearest structure, and even though it looks, again, really active over there, that is, again, the burnout operations from the firefighters trying to get ahead of changing weather for tomorrow. We're live in Buckeye. William Pitts, 12 News.
All right, Will, thanks. Let's bring in meteorologist Lindsay Riley. And Linz, what kind of conditions are those firefighters up against tomorrow with the wind?
Well, tomorrow the wind is actually going to pick up, but temperature-wise, things are looking pretty good because the high is going to be right around 80, 78 in that range. So not terribly hot. We're going to have some clouds out there tomorrow and even a few showers early in the day, but it's only a 20% chance for the valley. Here's a look at our current wind gusts. So wind not an issue tonight. It's very light, but it is going to pick up again tomorrow afternoon. We'll wake up to temperatures on the fire lines in the 60s, get into the 70s by 10 a.m., and highs are going to be in the upper 70s to near 80 with gusts approaching 20 to 25 miles per hour. So the windiest part of the day is going to be mid-afternoon, 2 to 4 p.m. It'll blow that smoke toward the north and east. So the wind's coming in from the southwest rather. Now up in the high country, it's also going to be windy, gusts approaching 40 miles per hour by the mid-afternoon. Highs tomorrow, a treat, 11 degrees below average, but the triple digits make a comeback starting Friday, and they're here to stay. Closer look at that in my full forecast. Mark?
Linz, thanks. Tonight, a German Shepherd is recovering after fending off and killing a rabid bobcat.
12 News journalist Gabriela Becerra spoke exclusively with the dog's owner. She's in Prescott with this incredible story.
There have been several bobcat attacks reported in the last 48 hours across the Prescott area. Officials don't know if it's the same animal or multiple, but in the most recent attack, a German Shepherd came to the rescue.
Mose, come here, Moses.
Moses, a 6-year-old German Shepherd, is being crowned a hero after saving his owner from a rabid bobcat. He's your hero?
Yes, he's the hero of the day.
The pair were on their morning walk around their neighborhood just north of Prescott when she says the bobcat attacked.
This cat came at me and jumped me, and I thought it was a coyote because we don't have bobcats around here. And so I pushed it away and it came right back.
The owner, who didn't want to be identified on camera, tells me the cat scratched up her arm before going after her dog.
I was afraid. I kept saying, go, 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 go to Moses. I was wanting him to get away. But when I got back, he had killed a bobcat.
She says Moses broke the bobcat's neck, killing it right in her driveway.
He did what German Shepherds do.
The bobcat tested positive for rabies, according to Arizona Game and Fish Department.
Bobcats are cats. They have cat in their name. They're pretty skittish. They don't like people. They want to stay as far away from people as possible. So when these situations happen and a bobcat is indeed being aggressive towards humans or pets, it almost always means that they're going to test positive for rabies.
The Yavapai County Sheriff's Office says there were 3 other reported bobcat attacks within the past 48 hours. They're not sure if it's the same animal, but they're warning residents that other wildlife could be infected.
These incidents are still very rare.
Moses is up to date on his rabies vaccine, but will be quarantined at home for the next month and a half. His owner is also being treated, but is expected to be okay.
It's painful, but it could be so much worse.
She says she's just grateful to have Moses by her side.
He's amazing. Yeah, he's an amazing dog, and he's also very sweet.
Any people or pets attacked by wild animals are encouraged to seek medical attention immediately. Near Prescott, Gabriella Becerra, 12 News.
Gabby, thanks. A Mesa man is in custody after he was accused of hiding a camera in his guest bathroom and then secretly recording victims for years. Police say 45-year-old Andreas Lorenz disguised the device as a Wi-Fi extender plug and admitted to installing it in 2021. He said to record his wife while he was traveling for work. Investigators identified 8 victims, including 4 juveniles. He now faces sexual exploitation and voyeurism charges, and the case is under investigation.
Tonight we have an update to last week's deadly shooting in El Mirage. We're now learning that it happened after 2 teenage boys met up for a gun sale. Investigators saying that 17-year-old suspect fired multiple shots, killing 17-year-old Ashton Rashay Evans. The suspect was also shot in the incident and was later arrested after he was released from the hospital. It's still unclear who was buying or selling the gun, but we do know that 2 guns were recovered at the scene.
I guess the one message I can put out is just for parents to be involved in what their children are doing. It's a matter of knowing what your kids are up to, and all we can ask is that you stay involved.
The teen suspect now faces several charges, including second-degree murder.
New tonight, a federal court hearing was held today in Phoenix for an off-duty officer seen on video clashing with students during an anti-ICE protest outside of Hamilton High School.
Sergeant Dustin Mullen was heard telling an officer that his plan was to let the students protesting assault him and then get them arrested.
After he was placed on leave, he filed a lawsuit against the city of Phoenix, the Phoenix police chief, and council member Ana Hernandez, claiming retaliation and due process violations.
And according to court documents, Mullen believes that the department plans to fire him and asked for a temporary restraining order against any disciplinary action, as well as a full review of the incident. After hearing testimony in court today, a judge continued that temporary restraining order, pausing any potential disciplinary action as the court prepares to issue a further ruling.
I think that there needs to be a thorough and fair review of the information that was presented. That's what we've asked for from the city prior to this, and that's what we're continuing to ask for now.
A federal judge will now decide what's next regarding the internal investigation. The legal battle over a $12.8 million lottery ticket is heating up. A Scottsdale Circle K manager allegedly bought the winning ticket the day after the drawing, and now a judge will decide who really owns it.
But with the deadline to claim the money just weeks away, Circle K is asking the court to keep the jackpot from expiring before the case is settled. 12 News journalist Kyle Simchuk has more.
Well, if you look up unclaimed prizes on the Arizona Lottery website, you'll see it right at the top. It's the pick. The drawing was last November. It's a $12.8 million jackpot. As you can see, it's set to expire this month, May 23rd to be exact. So Circle K, they are asking a judge for a temporary restraining order blocking the Arizona Lottery from enforcing the 180-day claim deadline while the court decides who legally owns the winning ticket. If you aren't familiar with this bizarre case, here's a quick recap. A customer walked into this Circle K at Bell Road and 56th Street last November and asked a clerk to print $85 worth of The Pick tickets. The woman only had $60 and left some tickets behind. One of them matched all 6 numbers, worth $12.8 million. The next morning, court documents say store manager Robert Galitza found the winning ticket, clocked out, changed out of his uniform, then bought the leftover tickets for $10. Now, the courts have to decide whether that was perfectly legal or a case of insider knowledge.
Who goes out to their car and changes their clothing to come in to purchase tickets unless you have a plan?
Attorney Josh Colesrud says the big question is what the store manager knew and when.
If there's any evidence that he was aware of what was going on and used that knowledge, that insider knowledge to buy that ticket, Circle K wins this case.
Colesrud says the temporary restraining order doesn't decide who owns the money, it just stops the clock.
Basically, Circle K telling the lottery to push the brakes and not do anything until Judge Kramer, who's a great judge, decides the issues in the case.
Under Arizona lottery rules, tickets that are printed but not purchased become property of the retailer. The store manager's response to the lawsuit is expected soon. The ticket, which the store manager signed, is currently locked in a safe at Circle K's corporate office.
We don't know how the outcome's going to be. I mean, I'm rooting for him. This will totally be a question on the state bar. So law students, beware. This case is coming to you.
A hearing on the temporary restraining order is scheduled for May 15th. In Phoenix, Kyle Simchuk, 12 News.
All right, Kyle, thank you.